The cold wind blew through the wide-open French windows of the mansion as night fell. The moonlight poured into the room like silver sorrow, painting everything in shades of regret. In that silence, she sat, Serena Velora, the widow who once smiled like summer and now looked like winter had buried itself in her soul. Her fingers traced the edge of the old photograph that rested on her lap. A younger version of her smiled in it, arm in arm with a man whose charm once lit up her world, Vincent Harrow. The same man who was now standing in her hallway, after all these years. He had vanished from her life a decade ago. No explanation, no warning, only a silent disappearance that had left Serena shattered, pregnant, and alone. And now, as if 10 years were nothing but dust in the wind, he had come back, with a plea that echoed through the marble halls of her broken past. I can get you pregnant again, he whispered, kneeling like a repentant sinner. Let's rebuild. Let's start over. Please. But Serena didn't flinch. Her eyes remained on the photo, on the child who never made it. Their daughter. Gone before she could see her first birthday. The betrayal wasn't just abandonment. It wasn't just lies or silence. It was the very loss of life she had endured alone, while he, she would later learn, drank champagne with another woman in Monte Carlo. Vincent had been the love of her life. At least, that's what she had believed. When they had first met, she was a struggling art dealer and he, the charming son of a real estate tycoon. Their romance had been fast, wild, and intoxicating. He promised her the world, and for a moment, he gave it. They married in a vineyard in Italy, danced under lantern-lit skies, and planned a future built on dreams. A year later, she got pregnant, and everything changed. Suddenly, Vincent was distant. Cold, late-night calls, mysterious business trips. The man who once held her like she was glass now treated her like a burden. And then, one morning, she woke up to find his side of the bed empty, forever. No note, no explanation, just a vacuum. She raised her daughter alone, battled postpartum depression, and buried her baby without ever seeing the father again. And now here he was, with wrinkles around his lies and eyes that tried to imitate regret. A black velvet box in his pocket. A diamond big enough to buy forgiveness. You can't erase the grave with a promise, Vincent, Serena said, her voice as calm as winter water. I didn't know, he insisted, stepping closer. I was scared, confused. I was young. I didn't know how to be a father. I thought you'd be better off without me. Better off. Her laugh cut through the silence like a shard of glass. Do you know what it's like to bury a child alone? To scream in a hospital hallway, hoping the man you love would walk through the door, only to realize he never will. I'm sorry, he said, eyes moist. Please. I've changed. I'm not that man anymore. But Serena didn't believe in change. Not from a man like Vincent. He had always worn masks, charming the world while his soul rotted behind silk suits and Cuban cigars. And now, he was back not because he missed her, but because his fortune had crumbled. The casinos knew his name. The banks knew his debt. The women knew his face, but not his truth. He needed her, but she didn't need him anymore. She had built an empire of her own, an art business that now dealt in millions. She had survived storms, betrayal, and the grave. She wore strength now like she once wore love. But tonight, she didn't feel powerful. She felt haunted, because part of her, deep down, still remembered his touch. Still remembered the nights they made promises under candlelight. Still remembered how it felt to believe in him. I can make it right, he said again, reaching for her hand. I know I hurt you, but I can give you a future. A family. You still deserve love. Love, she interrupted, finally meeting his eyes. You think I came this far to be loved by a ghost? His eyes narrowed, but his voice softened. We can try again. Have another child. Start a new chapter. Another child. The words felt like poison wrapped in petals. You want to replace what we lost? She asked, a tear finally breaking free. You think children are things to replace? You didn't just leave me, Vincent. You left her. You left your daughter. He bowed his head. I'll spend my life making it up to you. No, she said quietly. You'll spend what's left of it regretting. Then she stood, walked across the room, and opened the drawer of the vintage chest by the fireplace. Vincent's breath caught as she pulled out the object. A gun. Silver. Beautiful. Deadly. He raised his hands. Serena, this isn't revenge, she said, loading the chamber slowly, deliberately. It's release. He backed away. You wouldn't. I already did, she said, stepping closer. I forgave you 1,000 times in my nightmares. But tonight, I forgive myself, for loving a man who only knew how to break. Please, he whispered, trembling. She raised the gun, hands steady. I gave you my heart once, she said. And you killed it. The trigger clicked, but no sound followed. Vincent gasped. He looked down. He was alive. Serena smiled bitterly. I wanted to see you beg. That's all, she said, unloading the gun and placing it on the table. Now leave. And if I ever see you again, I won't miss. Vincent stumbled backward, face pale, pride shattered. As he disappeared through the door, Serena turned away, tears falling freely now. Not for him, not even for the past, but for the strength it took to choose healing over hatred. That night, she sat by the fire, holding the only photo she had of her daughter. She whispered a prayer into the silence and watched the flames dance with shadows. She had lost everything once. But not again. This time, she chose herself. The end. Let me know if you'd like me to format this into a YouTube voiceover script, or if you want title plus description plus tags to post with it.